Uh, so, what's the point of this video? I don't know yet. I should record. Um, I'm on the east side of Milwaukee right now, trying to generate content to promote my brand, my clothing brand, which I started as a venue to display my unique style, my unique taste in clothing, perspectives, political and otherwise, particularly political. Um, I, in fact, spent my life as a left winger. I'd say a far left winger. I remember um, one time talking to one of my liberal friends in Minneapolis, because I spent most of my life in Minneapolis, and I told him, this is like, I don't know how long ago, probably like 20 years ago. He asked me if I was pro-life or he said I was we were talking about pro-life, pro-choice. I said, I'm going to be, and see, 20 years ago, this was actually a pretty novel idea. I said, I am pro-abortion, actually. And he's like, what? That's disgusting. He's liberal. Again, he's like a far left liberal. I mean, not like a communist, but he was liberal. Minneapolis, Minnesota. He goes, that's disgusting. And I was like, yeah, well, I don't really care about anybody's kids. And what I'm trying to do is just, what I was describing was the Overton window. I said, I want to be so far towards abortion that people who are pro-choice end up being like actually in the middle. So they're like moderate. And then if you're pro-life, then you're extreme, then those are the two sides. Pro-abortion for everyone, mandatory. I don't know if it was quite that extreme, but something absurd like that. And then pro-life. So yeah, I was far left. I did a lot of damage. Well, no, I'm sure I didn't do shit for damage because I didn't really talk to people that much about politics. It's not like I was like blogging or anything, or it's not like I was able to create any kind of a fanzine or anything. All I was just a drunk fucking extreme alcoholic. So I wore punk rock t-shirts, played pool at CC Club, and was drunk and worked at pizza places. So I became a manager of a whatever, doesn't make any difference. Yeah, but I mean, I was way far left. And then eventually, it took me till I was about, I don't know, like, actually I've already talked about this in another video, but I became conservative. And I think the what got my foot in the door was actually interest in firearms. And it making sense to me that like, even if like I didn't necessarily believe it, but I'd heard the statistics that like, oh, it's more dangerous to own a firearm than to not. You're more likely to get killed if you own a firearm or something. And I kind of didn't sound right, but I thought, oh, maybe I believe it. Why would they be saying it otherwise? But what stuck with me is like, well, but wouldn't I rather take my chances? And it's like, yeah. And shouldn't I be able to? Shouldn't everybody be able to take their chances? Yeah. Anyway, and then when I was imagining getting eaten alive by bears camping in Alaska, it was like, yeah, nobody's fucking got the right to tell me that a gun's too dangerous in my hands while I'm out camping in Alaska for a month. Just a little thin piece of nylon in between me and the grizzly bears. Like, fuck you if you're trying to act like I don't have that kind of, I mean, of course I have that right. And that's not the reason it made sense to me. I subscribed to some gun tubers who, I mean, back then it was a debate. Back then the right and left were debating, and my God, like the left revealed in those debates that it was just absolutely full of shit, and that the people were not moron. Well, in that no, in that area of debate, they were morons. I don't know why they were stupider then than they are now. They were, or at least just related to guns, because there's so many statistics, studies, blah blah blah. Every liberal argument for why guns should be banned is just absolute bullshit. All gun control is evil and wrong. If you really look into it all, it is the case. But liberals don't look into anything. We know that now. Or everybody always knew that. I guess I learned about it later. That's something for people to keep in mind as right-wingers, is look for things like guns to get liberals interested in. Guns are an amazing tool obviously for what they're designed for, but they're also an amazing tool to bring people into the fold of rationality. And they really are fun. They're inherently enjoyable. They're inherently exciting. I mean, it's an explosion going off in your hand, and you're able to direct that force precisely where you want it to go. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, just to control that kind of violence is really cool. I'm not exactly sure where this is going. I think I'm just going to stop the video now, so there's not this long pause while I figure out where I'm going with it.